before we put these teams to sleep for the last time this year, we gotta talk about the Jets, man. Gangrene. Let me play. You know what? Let me play this clip. I have a clip prepared. Let's talk about some good stuff first. Let's talk a little bit about A-Rod. A-Rod all year was flirting with coming back. Finally said, I think on Pat McAfee show. Shout out to Pat McAfee. I think he said, basically, I'm not coming back. He kind of put that to rest. He was also kind of tongue in cheek with it, like, man, the plan was never really to come back. Achilles is even though I do see him rehabbing hard and really putting in the work. And, he seems to love New York. He gushes about New York. He says all the right things. Everyone kind of thought he was aloof, a little bit, standoffish, a selfish quarterback while he was in Green Bay, because that's how he was portrayed. Media can portray you any way they want.
Of course.
Right? You know what I mean? So I think what now when he comes over here, I look at him a little bit differently now. I'm saying, wow, he wants to be a Jet. He's on the sidelines. He's
defending the coaches.
Him and the coaches. He's saying, I want to commit to these guys for multiple years. He's all in, right? And we didn't get to see him that much this year. Tragedy, obviously, I think the Jets would have looked a little bit different with him, obviously, because he is a Pro Bowl MVP, 4-time MVP quarterback. But at the same time, that putrid offensive line, he might have got hurt no matter what. But listen, before you guys comment on that, I want to play Evan and Tiki talking a little bit about A-Rod and get your thoughts.
Yeah, word.
I know you love Tiki.
Oh, my God, I didn't talk about
warmed my heart and should warm all of your hearts because he committed to us and said next year, it ain't just 1 year, it's multiple years.
I felt like when I came here that I got kind of a renewed passion and love for the game, and everything has been amazing here. Just the people I've gotten to work with, the relationships I've gotten to form with my teammates, and the amazing men and women that work here at One Jets Drive has been really special. I wanted, at least 2 years. I feel like this year is kind of a lost year now that I only played a couple snaps and wasn't able to go out there and improve what I'm capable of and see what we're capable of as a team. I don't think that next year will be my last year. With some of the things that I've learned over the last year, taking care of my body and surrounding myself with some great people who've been helping me with my nutrition and my functional training at a more acute level. I feel like I can play more years and I can be effective into my 40s, which is crazy because I thought that I'd probably be sitting on a couch somewhere at 40, but now I want to be a starter at 40. I want to be a starter at 41. I want to see what I can get out of this body.
That's the
that's our song right there.
Q, word up, Q. Your thoughts on that, man?
Yo, it's saying all the right things. He's saying all the right things. Am I optimistic of what he's going to be able to do? Coming back from an injury, I definitely think he would have came back and played some games if the Jets were definitely on a playoff run and actually going to the playoffs. Because I think he would have started probably like in January and made some historic shit. December was definitely, I think, way too soon in my opinion. But he didn't come at all. But now he's 40, coming back from an injury like this, and I have to compare him to Tom Brady because these are the only two guys that were trying to play at such a high level and played at a high level, especially Tom Brady. We know Brett Favre we know Brett Favre didn't play too well in his 40s. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl in his 40s. And we have to compare him. Now, do I see Aaron Rodgers taking care of his body the same way that Tom Brady was? I don't see that. And
maybe now he is, but all them other years,
Yeah, and like the only thing that worries me is it too late? Like, obviously, they need a quarterback. They need to address it. They need to obviously draft. They definitely need to draft a quarterback because they can't have Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, or Trevor Siemian. That's it. They need a hope because if he does play to 41 or 42, at least whoever they draft or get, at least they got 2 years, and ain't nobody really better than. In my opinion, at least right now, like that's a dope fucking quarterback to sit behind for 2 years and let them coach you, and know the ins and outs of this game. And by the time they come back in, hopefully, some of that Green Bay Packer quarterback love sprinkles on the Jets, and whoever they get next could be like a Jordan Love or Brett Favre and a Aaron Rodgers, like they always have. Like they got generational quarterbacks. These guys didn't need a quarterback for like 40 years. This is ridiculous.
Word.
You know.
What do you think? Yeah, Ed, my bad. What do you think?
No, that's it.
No, I agree. Q hit it right on the pin the tail right on the donkey with that one. I feel like, you know, he's politically correct. He's just saying all the politically correct things. You know, I actually thought he could have came back if the Jets were still relevant. He probably could have came back like, you know, maybe the last 2 games of the season. Depends on the playoff contention. But that's good that he decided to sit out, even though he's activated in the 53-man roster. You know, the thing is that would have been good that he could have helped, you know, have like this little magical historic season and end the Jets 13-year playoff drought, you know, and resurrect his career like Q said, like Brady winning the championship. You know, I'm thinking he could have came back like Montana, like Warren Moon, like those guys, like, you know, after 40 still playing at a high level, you know what I mean, even though they didn't win nothing. But I like that he's still dedicated to play at a high level at 40, and he's dedicated to the Jets. Jets haven't had a good quarterback since who? Namath? Like I can't even name a quarterback that wowed me when he was with the Jets. No Quincy Carter, no Chatton Pennington, no Testaverde, none of these guys. Like, you know,
Testaverde had a gun, but yeah,
but you know,
yeah.
Testaverde's best days were when he was with the Miami Hurricanes, you know, with that squad. But the Jets are pretty damn awful. You know what I mean? Like they have a stellar defense.
Brett Favre for a hot second, but yeah.
I mean, Brett Favre. If you guys remember, Brett Favre started hot with the Jets.
That's what I'm saying, for a hot second, then he got hurt.
He went 8-2, and then just finished the season 8-8. Like, you know,
who was the coach? Mangini, right? Mangini was the coach.
Mangini. All right, so I think it was Mangini. Yeah, I think it was Mangini. Yeah,
Mangenius.
Yeah, Mangenius from the Patriots.
Mangenius.
My thing is that we guys got to see, like, everybody right now on the Jets is on the hot seat. Like when it comes to the coach, the offensive coordinator, we need a backup QB, like you said, to, you know, imagine we get this, like, you, like, I'm gonna continue what he was saying. Imagine we get the stroke of luck that Green Bay has. We get a guy that to sit behind Aaron. That's a damn good person to learn from, because look at Jordan Love now with Green Bay. Jordan Love is playing pretty decent, you know. He's playing pretty good. He has him in the playoffs right now.
I like Jordan Love.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on with the Jets, but you know, that it's just those 4 snaps that he played, it fucked up our season. I feel like it fucked up our season until the whole off season, until next year, to see if he steps on the fucking field and plays. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Let me ask y'all both a question, because I want to know y'all take on it. So Aaron Rodgers coming back now he's saying he wants to play multiple years, right? Now, you know, I don't really know if he was probably going to play multiple years, regardless if he plays his whole season. But do you think now he wants to play multiple years because, like, out of guilt and competitiveness, because guilt being he didn't play at all this year, and you know, he was giving them all hope and didn't
so much hype,
you know, or is it you think he just wants to, you know, is that the competitive drive in it?
I think that's the competitive drive, man.
Yeah.
Pro Bowler, four-time MVP, Super Bowl champion. I think his plan probably was to play multiple years. Like you said, he took 4 snaps and got hurt, so he lost a year. So he probably wants to do it. You know, he you know, listen, we all play sports, right? You know, I want to get it. I still want to play. I still get the urge to play, man. You know, while I still can. So you know, I think he knows he's obviously on the back end of his career. And he probably, you know, he probably said, "Yo, I got a couple of good years left in me, man." And I do believe. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is an upgrade over. Doesn't matter who you got. He's an upgrade over 95% of the quarterbacks in the league. Let's just be honest.
95% of the quarterbacks the Jets had in the last 2 decades.
And I think, you know, I think Aaron is gonna come back, and I think we're gonna be pleasantly surprised. But, you know, you guys gave your takes, but I'm gonna tie this into my take. I got couple of things you just need to work on. You ready? The top 5 things you just need to work on, right? Offensive line. The offensive line. And can you guys guess the last one?
The offensive line.
Gee, you guys are genius.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. What do I win, Cash?
You can't have a 40-plus-year-old quarterback behind a bad offensive line coming off an Achilles injury, bro. It's the recipe for disaster. You know what I'm saying? Joe Douglas has tried to address the offensive line. If you guys remember, when Joe Douglas came here, he said, my number one priority is what? To upgrade the offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't been able to do so. A lot of busts on the offensive line. There have been a couple of, good players, but we all know offensive line has to be addressed, right?
Yes.
You don't need to go out and get a quarterback. You probably have seen the last of Zach Wilson, so maybe you look for a backup. Who knows how that works? Mm-hmm. Another thing, we got to get some help for number 17.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I know Aaron kind of dictates and kind of gets his way, but let's get Lazard out of here. He sucks, bro. Lazard fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Cobb, let's get him out of there. We need another guy who can line up on the other side that's going to keep the defense honest, right? We always talk about. I thought McCall Hardman might have been that, especially in the red zone. He can stretch the defense vertically and all that, and horizontally. He didn't work out. He wound up going back to Kansas City. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things I thought, schemes they were running and people they were bringing in, I thought would would play out a little bit differently. But yeah, offensive line, they need some helpful receiver. Breece Hall obviously is a baller. We don't know what's going to happen with Dalvin Cook. You're probably going to see Dalvin Cook here next year. He's probably going to wind up going to Miami. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's getting the snaps he wants. Mm-hmm. I like the tight ends. They have some really good tight ends. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they utilize them as much. Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at that depth chart. I'm just running down the line.
Conklin's been getting a lot of love lately.
Conklin, and he deserves that. And he deserves that. But like I said, Breece Hall, they need some help for Garrett Wilson. Mm-hmm. The defense is very stout. I'm not mad at them. Mekhi Becton is pretty much a bust thus far. Mm-hmm. They're solid at the cornerback position with DJ Reed and Sauce. Woo. Solid up front.
Mm-hmm. They do
decent with the linebacker position. So I think defensively they're going to be fine. They might tweak these here and there. Mm-hmm. But there's some question marks, man, on offense, and there's some question marks, obviously, with the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Right now, like talking about the Jets, they 5-9 right now, right? Mm-hmm. And they got the 7th pick. The draft was today. Mm-hmm. They got the 7th pick in the draft. They saying that they need, obviously, an offensive tackle. Mm-hmm. They need an offensive guard. They need a safety, a linebacker, an edge, and a wide receiver. Notable free agents is the edge rusher, Carl Lawson. We need to keep him. Running back Dalvin Cook, I think he's gone. Offensive tackle Dwayne Brown, bye-bye. It's like Cash always says, I'll take you to the airport, drop your bags off for yourself.
100%.
And help you. And edge rusher, I really like Bryce Huff. I feel like we need to re-sign Bryce Huff.
Yeah, Bryce Huff is a baller.
He's been balling, man. So, I agree 100% with everything you guys said about the Jets and their needs and what they need to do to move forward the next year. Only thing I'm going to say is that everybody keeps on speculating on Aaron Rodgers or him turning 40 and can he do it? I feel like, damn, why they scrutinizing him so much of him being 40 and not doing it? I mean, Tom Brady did it. Why can't he do it? And he's just as talented.
Yeah, but TB12 was on some LeBron James shit, man. He took care of his body. Like, like a lot of times, you ever and I'm using myself as an example. Like, I got into my 40s, right? I'm still in my 40s, but I got into my 40s and then I started to change my diet. I tried to change my workout habits. I'll try to lose a lot of weight but all the years of me doing bad shit still lingers and shit, so it's like, it's not just the shit you do now, it's the years of attrition and lack of nutrition and beating your body up and not eating good. Right. I'm Brady been on that shit from day one. So LeBron too, they've been treating their bodies good from when they were young. So, it's a lot easier to play into your 40s when you're like that. I'm not really sure how Aaron Rodgers treated himself. I don't think he was like a real workout fanatic. He might be now, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'll work for him. Who knows?
Yeah. I just I want to give him a shot. I feel like, all right, I'm gonna jump out the window with this one. I feel like
open the window. Yo, open the window.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna open up the fucking window. If he comes back healthy and they meet their needs and what they need, I could be like, I'm not gonna say next year. Maybe the year after that, they could probably go to the fucking Super Bowl. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win, but they could go to the fucking Super Bowl, man. They got a team built to go to the Super Bowl. They just need to address the fucking offensive line, and like you said, get help for number 17 for Garrett Wilson. You know what I mean?
What about coaching? A lot of people are down on Saleh. What do you guys think? Who I hear might be available this year?
Cool.
Mike Tomlin, I'm hearing. I'm hearing he might. I would grab him up in a second if I'm the Jets.
Oh, I would
Hell
grab
Hell yeah.
Tomlin
He
up
hasn't
in
had a
a
losing
heartbeat.
season. He hasn't had a losing
Yeah.
season in the NFL since he started.
What are the Steelers' record this year? Are they over 500?
Then they could make the
Yeah.
playoffs. They can make the
Okay, so
playoffs.
yeah. But I heard
He
that
hasn't
they're at an impasse. You know, you hear stuff through the back channels that he's probably going to be available this year. If they can get Mike Tomlin, you got to say goodbye to Robert Saleh. And I know Aaron Rodgers likes Robert Saleh because he can kind of overpower him, for lack of a better
Manipulate
term.
him.
You know,
They 7-7
Mike
right
Tomlin's
now,
gonna,
the
you know,
Steelers.
you gotta get if Mike Tomlin's available, go get Mike Tomlin.
Hell yeah, I'll jump
know what I
out. I'll get Mike Tomlin
Without
in
a
a
fucking
heartbeat.
doubt.
Yo, he has not had a losing season since he started in the NFL, bro. He's 7-7 right now.
Bill
Even if he
Belichick,
finishes,
he's not coming to the Jets, but
I don't know.
we're hearing he's gonna be available.